end of my ears look.
Adorable.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's the perfect holiday tiara.
We made it to the finals. This episode of the 2024 Bourbon Van Advent Whiskey Tournament is brought to you by Still Austin Cask Strength Bourbon. Aged in choice barrels and bottled at 118 proof, it offers a nose of brandied cherries with fresh muddled mint, old-fashioned blackberry cobbler with biscuit crust, and cinnamon toast in brown butter. We love this one.
Look at you. You look incredible today.
Oh, thanks.
Dressed up to the nines for the finale. I am, once again, repeating an outfit and wearing a hat, so
Love it.
I apologize for not showing up in my Sunday best.
That's all right.
But I can assure you that my taste buds showed up dressed to the nines today, and I am going to show out while we have this tasting. So excited for these two whiskeys. I can't believe we've chosen the same whiskeys. We know next to nothing about these two whiskeys, but what I can tell you about them is that they've been so good. They've been the class of the field. Mm-hmm. We have had a hard time setting them down. Even when at the end of a matchup, we had some left in the glass, we always finished that glass. That's how much we've enjoyed both of these whiskeys throughout the tournament. So excited to sip these today, to pick a winner, and to find out what in the world we've got here.
I feel like this one's going to be a palate choice because they are quite different from each other.
Yeah.
Very different. Before we get into it and I tell you what the matchups are, I just want to say a special thank you to Still Austin for sponsoring this tournament. We love Still Austin. We've loved them for years. We can't wait to come visit them in 2025. I am so stoked. It's like one of the highlights on our itinerary.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to do it. So special thank you. Hope you enjoyed the tournament. Now let's get on to the finale.
Yeah, completely agree. I couldn't have said it better. Let's drink some whiskey here. What do we got in the glasses? What's what?
Get my trusty notebook.
Okay, here it comes. Look at these notes. You look like you're trying to track down an international conspiracy here. My goodness, they're a bit of a mess. That's okay. Oh, we're going to go another page.
One more page. Sorry,
not quite there
guys.
yet.
Day 15.
That's right.
4-2 up front.
Okay.
6-1 in the back.
Okay, 4-2 versus 6-1. And before we get on with the nosing and tasting, I do want to say that join us tomorrow when we will have the announcement of who actually is winning those bottles of Still Austin, the overall winners for each of our brackets, as well as the highest scoring Patreon for each of our brackets. And if there is a tie, we'll be spinning that wheel, so you don't want to miss that. That could be all kinds of excitement. We have no idea what's happening in the standings. We won't know until we're watching this along with you what's going on. So, exciting day tomorrow, and the other thing that happens tomorrow is
Eggnog Challenge.
We'll decide who has chosen a better whiskey to pair with delicious eggnog. I'm an eggnog fanatic, and you never know which way that one's going to go either. And even though there's no dog in that hunt for anybody anywhere, it's bragging rights for the next year.
So I can't remember who has won in the past. I know it was like 1-1, and then somebody won one other year, probably you.
I think it was you last year.
Our friend JT is making us real eggnog, not store-bought eggnog. So it's going to be extra special.
Not only did he organize the entire thing, but he has volunteered to make eggnog for us so that this challenge will be extra, extra delicious.
Yeah.
That's going to make me think even harder about which whiskey to pair with the delicious eggnog. That's all for tomorrow. That's not what you want to hear about right now. Let's get on to the nosing and tasting and start on the nose with, what is this one, 4-2?
Maybe? It is 4-2.
Yeah.
And then we'll go into 6-1 right now.
Wow. We're not going to do a lot of tasting notes today. It's all about what tastes good in the finale. And man, this is going to be a weird matchup because these whiskeys are not alike at all. One of them, super musty, super jammy, super flavorful, but nondescript when it comes to the type of whiskey. Really hard to pin down. The other one, straight ahead, hard-nosed, nose to the grindstone type of flavors, and we love both of those. One of them just flat out excitement, and the other one just flat out deliciousness. This is definitely going to be a palate choice for each of us today. Can't wait to taste these now.
You did that so well, you should have your own YouTube channel.
That's too much work. Which one do you want to sip here first?
So, it's not sweet and savory because they're both sweet.
Right.
But it is kind of like bright flavors, dark flavors.
I would agree with that.
So what do you think? Because I always pick, and this one, I don't know which one
You
will
look like you're ready to
overshadow.
sip the glass already. So let's go with glass number 2 today.
Okay.
I'm into that, and I just want to say, because it's getting pretty late in the season here, if you've been so hyper-focused on keeping up with the bourbon van, you might not realize there's like 2 shopping days left till Christmas.
Oh,
Better get after it. That's all I'm going
Yeah.
to say. Yeah, that's
nothing we have in our store will get to you in time.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is this is your PSA. Go out there and get something for your loved ones, and apologize for not being present for the entirety of the holiday season thanks to the bourbon fan.
Did you get something for Mavis?
Always.
She's the only one that matters.
It's the only one that matters. Are you ready to sip it?
Yeah.
Cheers to the holidays.
Happy Heaven Tournament. What I find so interesting about this is that the nose kind of surprises you, or it tricks you. Like, you think it's going to be really sweet.
You think it's going to be nutty, too.
Yeah, and like fruity. Because there's just a little bit of that in there. Mm-hmm. But when you taste it, it is decadent dessert.
It's an explosion of flavor,
Yeah.
really. There's nothing shy about this whiskey.
No.
It jumps on your palate, it stomps on your palate, but it does all that in the best possible way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it makes me want to boot, scoot, and boogie around the room.
Oh, dear.
I mean, I've never done it before, and I won't do it now. But it does get me kind of hyped because it's so flavorful. It's so good.
Yeah.
That's great whiskey.
I was going to move on to the other one.
Sure. Yeah, let's cleanse our palates. We're going to move right on to the other one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we're going to make quick work of this today, but I think we're both excited to just taste things.
I feel like we've tasted them enough during the tournament, so now I'm going to do a lot of back and forth,
Yeah.
which isn't the most exciting to watch, let's be honest. You just want to know who wins.
Yeah. On to the second glass. Well, the first glass in line here. That sweet jam on our logo glass today. The sweet jam, the vanilla, the oak, the richness, the decadence. There's something so incredibly special about that sip. It's complex. It's such a reward to get it on the tip of your tongue, then on the palate, the back of your tongue, the sides of your tongue, the finish. Everything about it is a rewarding, satisfying sip. The longer you take to sip it, the longer you sit with it before you take another sip, the more of a reward you're granted. Whatever is in this glass needs to be on our shelf. It needs to be something that you, maybe you don't have to seek it out there, okay? But I'm going to say this is one of the most exciting and inviting whiskeys that I've had this entire year, and it absolutely fits in this tournament, and it absolutely belongs in this final. This is a great glass of whiskey.
I also think that it's not something like you need a crazy advanced palate to enjoy.
Totally agree.
Because the flavors are just delicious.
They're jumping out of the glass. The
Yeah.
aroma is jumping out of the glass. I'm shocked by how much I'm enjoying this whiskey.
I drank glass number 2 while you were drinking glass number 1, and we always talk about how a bottle can do really well. Maybe come in first place when you do it in one blind, but then come in last place when it goes into a different blind. And glass number 2 for me has a little bit of a tea note. So I just, this entire tournament, I'm like, wild turkey, it's a Russell's, there's like cinnamon, that oakiness that I always get. And for whatever reason, I got a little tea, a little willetness
wow.
to this one,
Interesting.
right? So a little herbalness, some lemon, really interesting. Still that cinnamon, that oak, but it just goes to show when you pair things just different in different matchups, you never know what you're going to find. I find bourbon so fascinating that way.
Yeah. And again, we don't even know if this is bourbon. It's whiskey.
Whiskey,
That's
sorry.
all we know. Yeah, glass 2, really well balanced. And we keep talking about it. That red licorice note, the oak note, the cinnamon spice, the brown sugar,
Yeah.
that vanilla right down Main Street. These flavors are going to satisfy you in every way. And the finish lingers, that gentle cinnamon on your breath. There's so much to like here. And again, all along when we've been tasting this particular whiskey, we've been saying, is it the most exciting whiskey in the world? In some matchups, yes,
Yeah.
but not generally.
Yeah.
We're saying that this is consistent, it is satisfying, it is beautiful whiskey, and whatever it is, it's beaten out some stiff competition here
Yeah.
along the way. So it's going back to that thing that we struggle with in this tournament every year. Do we pick the whiskey that thrills us as something totally unique, something that's totally unusual, or do we pick the whiskey that tastes like the absolute best workhorse daily sipper you could ever want? This matchup right here is showcasing that head-to-head in a way that I don't think we've ever actually featured on this channel before. This is such an unusual matchup. They're both absolute winners, and it totally depends on what you're trying to accomplish with your drinking that particular day. Every metric that I use to review a whiskey, from how it feels on your tongue to how much it lingers, everything is a tie right now. We're going to have to pour 3 or 4 more glasses of this, I think.
I'm not going to be sad about doing that.
Yeah.
I also have a decision.
Come on. All right, so you're going to make a decision, and then we're going to have 3 or 4 more glasses.
Yeah.
Well, many back and forths, many refills on my end.
That's nice for a change.
Well, what can I say? I wanted to make the decision that's right for me, and I know you made the decision that's right for you.
Yeah.
And it is finally time to figure out what in the world, A, we've each chosen, and B, what is in these glasses. I'm so excited. I'm literally on the edge of my seat, and it was hurting my back. So let me get comfortable here, because we're about to count this thing off in 1, 2, 3.
We picked it.
We have differing winners. Julie's going to sip. I'm going to sip mine too.
Tastes like a winner to me.
Stunningly good whiskeys, both of these.
Yeah.
Each time that I sat with one of them for more than 2 to 3 minutes, I thought, that's a winner. And I would take another sip of it and go, I like it even better on the second sip. Then I would cleanse my palate and go back the other direction, and the same thing would happen. Santa Claus, if you please, tell us, what is Julie's winner here today?
Just like every Hallmark holiday movie, Julie met her perfect match. Hooten Young, 15-year American whiskey, 125 proof. Meow.
I'm actually really excited because Hooten Young was the one bottle, I guess this year, that we got on our travels that blew my mind. I was obsessed with it. I don't even know which bottle we had. It wasn't the 15-year.
No. The one that we liked was the Hooten Young American whiskey, 12 years aged, 92 proof. And that one wowed us during the tournament last year. We actually found that bottle, I think, in Texas, and we brought it home with us, and we love it. It's still so delicious. This is crazy that Hooten Young, again, standing on its head in the tournament, because it thrilled both of us, no doubt about it.
Hooten Young, you can steal my wow me with that first sip, whatever slogan.
Yeah, put it on your marketing
because
materials.
Literally, when I tried it, whenever that was, I was like, I am obsessed with this. I love it.
So
good. Not made, but it was like, if you see this, you should purchase it. It's so delicious.
Yep.
Here it goes. The distance for Julie's Advent Tournament. Love it.
I will say this, you are not a cheap date. I have seen this whiskey on the shelf in the neighborhood of $125. So, okay, it is what it is, but obviously that whiskey is so good. Can I tell you what I thought that was the first time I tasted it?
Yeah.
It tasted very much like our Bull Run 15-year American whiskey.
It did, yeah.
The single barrel pick that we did.
Yeah.
And just let me tell you this, too. That pick of Bull Run was in the $50, $60 neighborhood. So it's about half the price. So we love you, Hooten Young. Great whiskey, but I'm saying if Bull Run is available near you, you may want to check that one out, because their 15-year barrel-proof product is delightful. We might have to do a side-by-side of those in the future and see if it's worth it to go with the Hooten Young. But Hooten Young, for the second straight year, absolutely shows up and thrills us. That's amazing. Now we have one more bottle to figure out what in the world it was. It's my winner. Trying to figure out, I'm trying to look at the notes over here. 6-1 Santa Claus. Tell us, the final bottle in the tournament, what in the world were we sipping?
Phil, you've gone feral. Wild Turkey, rare breed, non-chill, filtered, 116.8 proof.
I have to say, deep in my mind, I kept thinking, man, oh man, I hope this isn't some crazy decades project or like a $400 bottle or a Russell's 15 or 13 or something like that. I was really worried that I was going to pick a crazy expensive bottle for the winner here. but I went with it anyways because I loved it so
Yeah.
much. And it turns out it's like a $50 bottle.
To be honest, I can't be more pleased with that result.
Unbelievable. This result is thrilling to me because we both agreed that these two bottles are winners, and we have one that's a touch bougie, sure. We have one that's very blue collar, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I'm thrilled with both of them. I think
too.
that they're both wonderful. Look, if you want to taste greatness, I think that both of these bottles are what you want to taste. They're both fantastic in very different ways, but very satisfying ways. And that's what we were looking for this year in the tournament. We wanted pure satisfaction, and my goodness, did we get it.
We did. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, congratulations to whoever submitted these bottles because they're both winners. Congratulations to you for sticking with us for the entire tournament because
Thank you so much for that.
I'm sure it wasn't easy at times. Join us on the next episode when we are going to say who has won those Still Austin bottles. We are so excited to figure out which one of you is taking home all 4 of those bottles. Congratulations to all of you, and we'll determine that next time. I'm at a loss right now. I'm stammering over my words. I can't believe how fun this was. I just want to sit and enjoy these whiskeys. I think we're going to pour another round tonight, and I think you should do the same. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you on the next one, and from wherever we are.
To wherever you are.
Cheers.
Cheers. And cheers to Santa Paws. Thanks for all the reveals. Want more Bourbon Van? Join us on Patreon for as little as $3 a month and get access to exclusive videos and live streams, music and whiskey pairings, and guaranteed opportunities to purchase our single barrel whiskey selections, plus obligatory Mavis photos with nearly every post.